I love Jane Monheit. It's as simple as that. Whenever I see her, I cry. Doesn't mean she's necessarily singing. I just cry. We could be having lunch and I cry. But when she sings Rainbow Connection, there aren't enough Kleenex boxes to save me. She's a brilliant, brilliant artist. Here's Jane Monheit. Jane, there you are.
Hi.
Hello. I wanted to talk something about that's very important in your life, and that's eye makeup.
Oh, yes. In fact, I have very little on
I
right now.
know. I looked at your eyes and I went, okay, that is that why you're wearing glasses today?
I've been wearing less just because I love these glasses so
They're
much.
really beautiful.
Thank you. And they're comfortable.
Where'd you get them?
I got them off like a discount website. Like they
Well, they're
were just these
wonderful.
inexpensive frames. Thanks. But they're super comfortable. And because they're big, I can
Yes.
really see everything. And
Yes.
so I'm so addicted to wearing them. Now it's like they've become more important than like the lashes, if you can believe
Well,
it. But they never come on stage with me. The lashes come on stage.
no, I know. I have tinted blue, so I could wear those, and then no one knows that I don't have on any eye makeup. I know
Ooh, that's
everyone's
good.
waiting for us to talk about the purple and rosy. We're getting there. I feel because I'm very bad in eye makeup.
No, you're not.
I know you know how to do the cat eye. Can you explain just how to do a cat eye in just a few words?
Well, all you're really doing is extending the line of your eye just a little tiny bit. If you think of it that way, like all you're doing is making your actual eye line longer, then it's suddenly easy.
But if you smile, that moves, you can't smile and do it
You
because you
can't.
have
You have to be
no.
very serious.
Yeah, and your mouth has to be open, otherwise your hand doesn't work.
Pretty much.
Okay, okay, that was riveting. And I wanted to know what was the first lullaby that you remember as a child?
Oh my goodness, there's this song that my mother used to sing to me and I don't know what it's called and I can't even remember how it goes.
Uh huh.
But I remember there was a lyric about it was about flowers. And it was I think it was called Lily Bells.
Oh,
Lily
that's cute.
Bells. Yeah, it was this little song. And if I heard this song now, I would start bawling. Oh my
Uh
God,
huh.
it was my mind.
Sort of like the way I am with Rainbow Connection.
Pretty much.
Yes, which reminds me also. In the intro, I said that I think my opening line was Jane Monheit always makes me cry, even when we're having lunch. What is it about you when you sing? Do you know the audience is crying when you're singing? Can you tell?
um, I usually can guess that they are because I usually am too.
Right.
And I know the people in the crowds now because I've been to all of these venues so many times. The same people always come back. I talk to them at the CD signings. I know them
Mm-hmm.
on social media. You know what I mean? So I have a good idea of who's there and who they are and how they're feeling. But yeah, I generally, if I'm crying, I figure I'm not the only one.
Yeah, your voice just kills me. It just absolutely kills me.
Thank
When
you.
you were a little kid, when did you start? Did you sing for your parents?
Always, ad nauseum. They wished I would be quiet, probably. I mean, I was the kid who was putting on shows and casting my little brother, and just, yeah, I was that annoying kid.
Did they bring you out at dinner parties?
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
They did. They showed me off. Yeah,
And
they
how
did.
old were you then?
I was still little but ranging all the way up. I mean, I never really stopped, did I? I'm sure I was behaving the same way at
Right.
16 that I was at 6. But I would sing in stores and stuff too. Like I remember my mother would run errands with me in the stroller and I would sing to everybody and they'd give me free stuff.
So you had an act even then.
Oh my God, I did. I would get a peach at the farm stand.
Yeah.
If and I don't remember where else, but I would sing for free stuff. But I remember very specifically singing for peaches at the farm stand all the time.
The next time I see you, I'm going to throw a peach on stage, but no one will understand that. Um, what was you remember the first thing about music, the first piece of music, or the first thing about music that really moved you as a young child when you knew you had to live music for your life?
That was so early that I don't remember it. I
Mm.
just know from my family's accounts of the way I behaved around music that it
Hmm.
was always apparent.
What did
You
you
know what I
do?
mean? I was always singing and dancing, making
Uh-huh.
such a racket. I would have to get taken out of weddings because I'd start yowling along with the thing, or I'd be dancing and I'd have to be taken out of places. And like, yeah, I was a performer.
And you still are. Um, when did you have your first act? How old were you?
The first time I ever performed in front of a lot of people that weren't my family, I was 8
Like
years old, and it was the
8?
school. It was
8?
eight, but it was the school choir, you know.
Yes, but you had a
And I
solo, right?
the big solo,
Of course.
the
What
big.
did you sing?
It came upon a midnight clear. It was pretty
Of
sweet
course.
in front of my whole town at like the Christmas tree lighting, the town's Christmas tree lighting
Perfect.
ceremony. And so my first solo ever in front of people was in front of my whole town.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I remember it. I remember being nervous. I was 8 years old. Um, it's funny because my son is so much older than that now, and that's hard for me to like imagine.
Yes.
But
Go ahead. How old is he now?
he's 13 in a couple days.
Oh wow, the danger zone.
Yeah, yeah,
That's for another interview. But
yeah.
all I can say is she has the most adorable, brightest, funniest son named Jack,
He's
and
amazing.
maybe one day you will meet him. I know that you came in second in a competition that I even know without seeing it you should have won. You no, you were in a music school, right?
I
Or
was at I was in conservatory then. I was going to Manhattan School of Music, and
okay.
it was this big competition, the international, Thelonious Monk jazz vocal competition. Now it's the Herbie Hancock competition. It's
Aha.
still the institute, the Herbie Hancock Institute, still exists, and I'm still really involved with them. They're amazing. They're responsible for International Jazz Day. Like they're incredible folks.
Wait a minute. Did they cancel Thelonious Monk? I'm very angry about cancel culture.
Oh
What was
no,
wrong with Thelonious?
no, nothing was wrong with Thelonious at all. He wasn't canceled. It was just that Herbie Hancock has done so much incredible work for the foundation over
Ah,
the last 20 years.
he's a
And
great guy.
he's the best. And he's so involved with the kids.
Yes.
And it's like so heavy that they renamed the foundation to honor him. And it really
Oh,
had nothing to do with Thelonious.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
but
all
yeah.
right. I won't protest or anything. I'm okay.
No, no, no. It's fully just honoring Herbie's, massive contribution.
So when you explain why you didn't win that competition, please.
Oh, well, I was 20 years old, and the woman who won was in her 60s and was a very, experienced, unbelievably killing jazz musician who could also accompany herself. And I was this kid getting up there, like crooning ballads, a college kid, you know what I mean? So they very much, Terry Thornton definitely deserved to win. I did not, but
Oh,
but I was thrilled that I came in second because it meant that I also got a lot of attention and was able to start my career because of it.
what makes you choose a certain song for your act?
Oh, it's always just got to be like a gut punch. It's never anything more involved than that. I'm never going, well, I really need something in the key of B flat over here. And I'm thinking that I haven't featured this composer in a while. I'm never like getting that serious about it. I'm just going, oh my God, I have to sing that. I have to. Now it's time, and it'll be a tune that I've known since I was a toddler, but all of a sudden it'll just have its moment. And I'm like, okay, it's time. We're doing that one now, you know.
How do you put together an act? Do you have a concept for it, or is it just gut punches arranged in an order you like?
Well, I absolutely have like a total formula for a set list that I always use. Like my
Okay.
shows always sort of like I have a certain kind of opener I like, a certain kind of closer I like. I have a certain way I like to handle an intermission. Like I come from musical theater as well, so I like to create the show in a way that feels good and has a nice dramatic arc and is going to keep people interested and all of that. So I, very much sort of have like a bit of a formula for that, I guess, over the years. But, and then there's also like, is there something I'm trying to promote right now?
Hmm.
Has the promoter asked for a specific show or a specific theme? The audience in this town, I know what they're into. Let me give it to them. That kind of thing,
Uh,
so yeah.
Talk for a minute about your new album. Which are they called albums? What are they called?
Yeah.
Albums, CDs, tracks, streaming? I don't know. All I know is music comes out of it. and and it's fantastic, and I want everybody to buy it. So I want you to talk about it.
Oh, thank you. It's called Come What May. It's on Club 44 Records, which is a new label that I'm on. I'm obsessed with them. They're the greatest people in show business. They're amazing. And my label mates are insane. It's like Billy Stritch and Nicholas King and just such a cool group of people. But yeah, the record we made during the pandemic, which was a crazy experience. We made the whole thing in 2 days.
Hmm.
Outside of adding on the strings went on later. You know,
Right.
you can't do that much in 2 days, but we did a lot. No rehearsal whatsoever because of the pandemic. So I chose tunes that were sort of nice and road worn. They're all songs that we've performed live in the past.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you have to take any precautions because of it?
Well, we were all tested and, quarantined and all of that kind of thing. And then we recorded in a home studio rather than a public studio, where we were literally all in separate rooms, recording, because you know how you isolate yourself to make an album.
Yes.
But yeah, otherwise it was just like making any other record. It's just we had all tested in quarantine first and we did it as quickly as we could.
And it worked. I saw the first Zoom show you did after you hadn't sung for almost a year, and of course you opened crying.
I'm
But
sure.
but it was it was phenomenal to feel that emotion that we all have felt, that there has been no real release of emotion during the pandemic, because the only so-called arts we have might be Netflix or a rerun of the Tony Awards from 1958.
Yeah.
So can you talk about just that very moment, your first show after the pandemic, when you opened your mouth for an audience for the first time?
Man, it was weird. It was strange, you know what I mean? And I've since now performed for a live audience a couple times.
Right.
And that was strange too. And I think the only reason why it felt weird was because it just felt so normal to be back. It was just like, of course I'm doing this. Okay, the last year didn't happen. It was like that. It was a feeling like that. I know my husband felt the same way playing drums.
Ricky
Back a lot.
Montalbano on the drums.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, it was just a feeling of like, oh, of course I'm home.
So are you good? Are bookings beginning to come in for where real shows where we can go?
Yeah, they're starting to. I have a couple things on the books.
Mhm.
Nothing near you, I'm afraid. But looks like
Affordable.
Europe might be starting to happen a little bit over the summer, and
Good.
because Europe in the summer is a big deal for jazz.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so
Right, of course.
looking hopeful there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm vaccinated and ready to go, so.
Absolutely. I remember when you were stuck in a horrible hotel outside Poland. That's all I
Oh
remember.
my goodness, that was a I had a crazy gig. Yeah, that was one for the books.
Go, where are you? I'm in Poland and I'm
I'm
in
in
a
Poland.
horrible hotel.
I mean, and I love Poland too. Like it was just a really bad hotel, but I love I'm Polish. I'm wicked Polish. I'm more
Hmm.
Polish than I am any other thing.
Uh-huh.
And
Poland's gorgeous.
it's
Absolutely
beautiful.
gorgeous.
And the people are wonderful and friendly and I don't know.
Hmm.
I love traveling in Eastern Europe. I do.
Meanwhile, back to the Purple Room, which is
Yes, that's why we're here.
why we started this. Um, what does Palm Springs say to you? You being in Palm Springs, that whole Purple Room atmosphere.
My husband and I are convinced that that's where we want our future to end up.
Oh, I'm
We
so
love
happy. Please,
we
God,
love
move near
Palm
me. We
Springs
keep
so much.
trying. Yeah.
We love Palm Springs and it's just I don't know, it's such a wonderful friendly place. I don't know, we feel very at home there and we're always like, yeah, that's our someday. Palm Springs, man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Good. I have a realtor if you need one. Don't worry. Michael Holmes, Michael is so special. He of course couldn't open, and he was classified as a theater, not a restaurant. So that's at the very bottom. Yeah,
Oh,
they didn't care that he could serve food. It's still at the very bottom of the openings. So he had to pay all of his employees out of his own pocket.
oh my goodness.
It's quite amazing. People don't realize how hard these venues like Purple Room, Catalina, Birdland,
Yeah.
and how special they are.
Hmm.
Um, I want to thank you uh, for doing this for Michael and for the program. To me, we're saving art.
Yes,
Uh,
we are.
Tell me
That,
why this is important to you. These campaigns.
well, I mean, these venues are um they're incredibly special because they're small. You know what I mean? They're
Mhm.
small and they're the places where we really get to know our audiences. They're the places where we're all really hanging together. They're the places where the show feels like a party that you invited everyone to. You know what I mean? It's like that's where, as performers, we really do what we do best. That's where we really entertain, is in these small rooms. In a big theater, we can't do that as easily. You know what I mean? The best of us can pull it off with no difference. You know what I mean? But I'm not one of those greats, like when I'm in a small room, that's when I'm really myself.
Oh, you whatever room you're in, it works. Trust me. I once went to a really just total solid jazz thing, and you did a completely different kind of set because you were free just to do jazz because it was jazz purists. It was quite astounding. I'm sure you'll throw some of that in the next time we see you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you from me, from Michael, for the Purple Room, from Palm Springs. We're doing well on the GoFundMe, but
Good.
people don't realize that you still need more. He needed money just to open. He's still closed all summer. He still has to put out X number of thousands a month. You know what it costs to open a room. So
Oh, okay.
um, I thank you so much, and I can't wait till everybody gets to hear you again live.
Thank you. And I mean, anytime. And if there's anything else I can do to help you support the cause, please let me know.
Thank you. You know I will. Thank you. I love you.
I love
Bye.
you.